Wait. Hang on, is this for real? Really? Like, oh, we're taking this wonderful trip to Holland. Oh, it's going to be super nice. Oh, the travel was no problem. Nah. I'm calling chicken eggs. Hang on. Aha! Okay. Looks like this is what really happened. Roll it. I'm here too.
Hi, welcome back to the channel. I'm starting this vlog from the location that primarily we're going to be focusing this mini-series on. So this is what would have been pre-travel day. So we're beginning this here, but we're going to tell you what happened and I'll insert the clips instead of putting in random montage things. So we're going to explain it to you.
So starting midday on the Sunday.
Yeah.
Bearing in mind it has just been half term.
Yes.
So everyone was back at school/work the following day. We thought Sunday would be nice and chipper. We booked our 2 seats.
Yeah,
anyway,
we did.
Just to make sure, we've got somewhere so comfy to sit. We've got big bags. Train was a sardine can.
Yes, we had no room at all. And considering that it's not only us and it's not only the cabin bags, it's also Donkey. And Donkey is my mum's old walker that I'm now using due to escalating health issues to help me get around. So
I'm glad you clarified it was called Donkey before we started this, because I got royally confused over it. Anyway.
Yeah, it's called Donkey.
So we were stood on that train for a good long while.
Yeah, well that one's about half an hour.
About half an hour. But we did get on well with everyone we were crammed in there with.
Yeah, the guys in there were an absolute
It became a bit of a sort of camaraderie, let's take the mickey out of the trains.
Yeah, it really
therapy session for all of us. So we did that, but then we got to Birmingham New Street and we went to the Attribution shop.
Yeah, I mean, Birmingham was actually fine. I normally have issues with Birmingham being really busy. The thing is, if you know Derby, you know it's a very small city. So when it comes to big cities, I don't get on well with them at all. It was fine, to be honest.
We got the...
Yeah, we went to the gacha shop, so we've got some gachas which we will unbox after we've had some food in a bit. Yeah, like that was all fine. We went to Wetherspoons and we had just a usual meal. It was standard, like...
chicken was a bit tough, but nothing...
Chips were slightly cold, but it's a Wetherspoons.
Some Wetherspoons.
you know what you're paying for. Yeah, so that was absolutely fine. And then we went to go and get a train to...
From Birmingham New Street to Birmingham International.
Yeah, which is literally a 5-10 minute train. You'll know if you're from Birmingham or you've done that trip.
It was also a sardine can.
Yeah, it wasn't as bad as the first one. I did have about a foot around me in a circle. But it still wasn't
was
great.
delayed.
Yeah, it was delayed as well, which didn't help.
It was
delayed by 15 minutes.
10-15 minutes.
Due to an electrical, I'll put it in now, but due to some electrical
It was an electrical failure at one of the other stations,
yeah.
So basically the train couldn't leave because it couldn't charge up on the line. So,
that was good.
So that was a faff.
So yeah, so eventually we dragged our asses to the hotel, which that's the worst hotel I've stayed in.
Really? You didn't like it?
I really hated it. The bed was really hard. It felt like I was sleeping on an electric blanket, so I was overheating.
It was warm.
Yeah, and the heating wasn't even on. I don't know what that was about. The noise from all around us was absolutely ridiculous. I mean, I will admit the soundproofing in this hotel isn't great. This was awful. Like,
it wasn't great, but
yeah,
we also
it was on a different level.
But the thing is because we had to go to bed quite early because we were due to be up around 2ish.
1 a.m. Yeah, well, we need to be up at 1 a.m. to get prepared to leave and get an Uber from 2:30. I've cut my finger.
Well, that was silly. Why'd you do that?
I don't know.
Do you want it?
It's only tiny. So
do you want to pause whilst we...
No, it's fine. No, just carry on. Well, yeah, so I'd gone to sleep at around 5ish and started dozing. You were still watching TV at that point. And then I got a buzz on my watch around 6 o'clock and looked, and it was from KLM, who we were flying with. Like, I've been corrected since, but the way that it read essentially said, there's going to be no room on the plane, so we need you to put all of your hand
carry-on bags
into the hold. And we're like, we can't. I've got a bunch of electrical equipment. I've got
medical stuff,
medical things, and no, we're not doing that. The only thing that's going checked is the walker, because you've told me it has to be. That's it. So that had me just freaking out. So I slept from about midnight to 1:45,
Something like
if that. Because
I mean,
I was panicking. I was full panic mode and just like, what the hell am I going to do? I'm going to have to rearrange all the bags, make sure all the electricals are in your under seat bag. And
Whereas I did sleep. I got to sleep sometime, I think, not long after that. So probably, let's say about 7. So I slept from 7 till 1.
yeah, which was nice. So.
Which was fine.
So then we get up, and to be fair, the Uber was fine, efficient. The guy was lovely and everything.
Yeah.
No problem with that. We got to the check-in. To be honest, even the check-in,
We were there an hour early.
yeah, my bad. But we were also at the front of the queue and got let through 20 minutes early. So swings and roundabouts.
I mean,
because
that is true.
if we'd been at the back of that queue, then it would have actually taken us longer. Yeah, also very glad we weren't flying with TUI because that queue was all the way down the airport. I don't know where they were flying to, but oh my god, that was nightmarish. So yeah, no, thank you.
So in the end, we didn't check any of the bags.
No, we only checked the walker.
Only checked the walker.
And that went on as oversized baggage.
And that was fine until it wasn't, but that comes later in the story.
Yeah, that comes later in the story. So then we went to special assistants. The special assistants team, to be fair, they were absolutely lovely. I can't fault them.
They were really
they
good,
were brilliant,
really efficient.
And to be fair, like getting on the plane and then getting sorted, I don't think there was any hiccup there at all. The only fault the airline made, we found out after we got off, when we got the walker back, and one of the rubber stoppers that is meant to prevent dust from going out. I've got pictures, so it's meant to look like this, and when we got it back it looked like this, and to most people that wouldn't seem like a problem, except in order to get the wheel bar down you have to put the bolt through, and I couldn't get the bolt through because there was rubber in the way. The frame still remains now slightly warped, so
it's been dropped and or crushed.
There's been a mass impact on it and it hasn't been looked after, which is very annoying because this is the first time, and the whole reason that my mum was worried about taking any of the equipment abroad was because of this happening.
They did say they might have a replacement walker for us, which they didn't.
No.
They didn't have any tools to fix it because they're not allowed them, but then they guided us to another office after we made the damage report, and they have said they will cover the cost of a replacement walker.
Yeah,
so we'll get that.
I've got the link for that when I get home, so yeah, they'll go through all of that when I get home.
So as much as that sucks, at least we got it sorted. And then when we went down to the second office,
they had pliers and a screwdriver,
and I just went ham on it for about 10 minutes, but it was just like removing 3D print supports, just
pull it out,
dig around in there and rip everything out until it is good enough.
Yeah.
So we can
works.
get that bolt back in now, and it means now that you can actually put pressure down and it not buckle.
Yeah.
Because there's actually a crossbar in there.
Yeah. It works. It is functioning. That will do.
After that then, so it was basically, the plan was to get a train from Amsterdam Airport to where this Natural History Museum was.
So that was Leiden.
And that went fine.
Yeah, that was fine.
The train was fine, the airport was fine, walking to the museum was fine, the museum was amazing.
The museum was, oh my god, yeah, that's the first bit that's going to come after this, is the museum, and then you'll get where we are now.
Yeah. So then after that, because when we got that first train ticket at Amsterdam, the fella said, ask for the train ticket bus combo. So then when we went back to the train station, we were at the ticket booth, there was a lady saying like, not at the ticket booth, but she was asking if she could help. We explained to her, she took us over to a kiosk and said it's going to be 140 euros each for this thing, and we were like, well, let's double check with your colleague. Went over there, got that sorted, 55 euros for both of us, and that was the train and bus ticket combo, so that's fine.
Yeah, so bless her for trying to help. I knew it was meant to be cheaper because I'd looked it up in advance, so always look up that in advance, because that could have been a wee bit costly.
And then the only final snafu was when we got here, because we saw our hotel
driving
in, and then the bus went quite a ways before we actually got off.
Turns out it's about 20 minutes walk away.
And with a couple of wrong turns and getting distracted by all the shiny pretties and everything, it took us quite a while to get here.
Yeah.
So
I think we got here at about 6ish in the end.
We did,
something like that. So that's been our pre-travel and travel day. It's been absolute chaos.
So
anyway, to where we are and where this mini-series is taking place from.
The astute of you may have realised we've said the Netherlands and Holland a lot. So yes, that is the country we're in. But tell them. Well, don't tell me. Tell them exactly where we are.
Right, I better make it quick because we've got to go down for food. So we are at the Efteling theme park in the Netherlands. This is something I've had my eye on for a long time. So it's meant to be like on the level of Disney. They say it's like Disney, but it's not Euro Disney sort of thing. It's based around fairy tales and things. And from what we've seen so far, it's
stunning.
Amazing. But we're really looking forward to it. We're here for 4 nights. So we're here Monday to Friday. Today's Monday the 2nd of June. And yeah, just looking forward to formulating a plan. Theme park fun. We'll even have half a day in the park on Friday as well because we don't fly back until about 7ish. So we can get a good few hours in the morning. So now we've got a reservation for Saga Restaurant, which I'm only going to take my phone to, I think. So I'll film a few things there, and then when we come back I will be doing a room tour to show you the stunning room. I will put in the reaction before I do the room tour as well, but yeah, just this room is stunning, isn't it?
Oh, it's great.
I love it. I love it so much.
It is great.
I also didn't say we're staying at the Efteling Wonder Hotel,
yes.
Which is the like floating hotel kind of theme thing. So let's go down for some food, and in the meantime let's take you to the museum to see some dinosaurs. And then we'll be back for a room tour later.
Flashback.
Thank you, past Maples, and welcome to the Naturalis Biodiversity Center in Leiden. We started out in the gift shop area with a giant T-Rex plush that Ian very much wanted to take home. And then we were looking at all of the floors. There's a lot of things to explore in this. We did do most of it, but I don't think we did everything.
Mine. That is so mine.
And then, of course, we headed up to what we had seen on TikTok, which was the Triceratops herd. It's a Triceratops, of course. Ian wanted to steal it. It was absolutely gorgeous. And not only that, there was a baby. But not only that, it was moving, but it also was snoring. However, before we went into the actual Triceratops herd exhibit, we went into the department store of Seduction, which was on the same floor as this, and we just thought we'd go and have a look. This was a very interesting section. It was, as it says on the tin, about the attraction of all animals, so humans and all animal life as we know it. It had all sorts of brilliant activities, lots of cabinets, things that you could touch to feel their fur and things. We had this gorgeous light that I absolutely would, I would love that in my house. It's so good.
I am best bird dad. Damn it!
And then we went into an unusual room known as the sex room. And this was the giant penis. This was the largest penis, I believe. I think that translates to. And then it had this little organ that you could play with, and as you stepped on each one, the animals would light up and it would play their animal noises. So Ian was on that for quite a while, and then we headed into the Triceratops exhibit, which was absolutely stunning. It was a herd of 5, and these are a mixture of actual Triceratops bones that have been dug up and restored, and the remaining pieces that were missing are actually 3D printed. So we all know my boy was into that because of his 2 3D printers at home. It also had a lot of boards around where you could learn the information about the exhibition that they went on. It was actual people from this Naturalis Biodiversity Center that went. And then in the kiddie area, you had the little ones hatching out of the eggs and all sorts of interactive things that they could do as well. We took a bit of a detour into the travel section, purely because I saw a big picture of Mount Fuji and Japan stuff, and Japan is very much on my bucket list, so we had to just, go and have a quick nosy. And then we went into the dinosaur age. This was absolutely amazing. The skeletons that they had on display were absolutely stunning. What was nice in here as well was that each one had its own animated backdrop curtain kind of thing, so you could actually see the animals living as well as the skeleton in front of it, and that very much separated it from the ones that you could see behind, so you weren't seeing a glut of dinosaurs, you were just seeing one at a time. And then we had this Skexus looking thing, which is apparently, as Ian's about to tell you, a Troodon, but...
It's a Troodon.
But then was the coup de grace. This is Trix. I'm going to leave the written part on the screen, but once again it is a almost complete, well-preserved skeleton, and the remaining pieces that were missing were actually 3D printed so that they could build the whole thing. Then we popped into the Ice Age, and this was awesome. There were a lot of cabinets with lots of different teeth, bones and things from that age, and this entire map that you can see was essentially that part of the Netherlands and what it looked like around that time and what the animals were doing at that time. And he did have little binocular stations that were showing you active things that would have been going on, so different animals fighting or breeding. It was amazing to walk around, and the clouds were just a little added something. And then we actually finished where we should have started, with the life room, and this was showing all animals all over. You came in through an underwater section, and as you went upstairs you ended up in the land animals section, and around it was a load of screens and music playing, and it was absolutely stunning. I've tried to match the vibe of the music with the one I'm using now. This was your view as you walked in. And when I say I sat and had a little cry after the stressful day, this was bliss. And then we went to the little cafe because it seemed rude not to. We got this Triceratops biscuit because, we've been to see the dinosaurs. I tried this thinking it was a cheese straw. I was very much correct. It was very delicious. Can't remember the name of it to save the life of me, but I know it was Cars something, which I know is cheese. Always a winner in my books. The cookie was a standard cookie, but you can't go and see a dinosaur without eating dinosaurs, so that was the centre, and I'll hand it back to the Maples.
End of flashback.
Oh my god.
Well, I like them curtains.
Oh my god.
Oh, wow.
Oh my. They're bins.
They're big.
Oh my god.
Oh, that is brilliant.
What?
Oh, even the bathroom seemed. That's dope.
And we are back. So we are room 705. So you go into the app, and if you click overnight stay at the bottom, this will come up, and then you need a digital key. And then you hold it to the door and it works. And then you come in. So as you walk in, you've got this hanger on the door. I will put a translation for that at the bottom, because right now don't know what it means. And then as you come in, we get big exposure and darkness. Welcome to a tired person's room tour. So yes, you come in, there's a little luggage area here, so I have just left our cases there because it's just easier for me. You've got two massive like floor to ceiling things, but what's cute about this room is all the Easter eggs. So we go in here. To be fair, not much in here, there's just hanging space. In this one you've got a spare pillow at the top, and you go down, you've got your safe which currently has our passports in, but then these little shoes just down here. You're not seeing the little shoes? Yeah, there's little shoes.
Oh.
And then down here we've got a fridge, an actual fridge, which we've put Diet Coke and water in, and insulin. But yes, it's an actual mini fridge, not a drinks cooler. So then we move over to here. So we've got a telly here, which to be fair probably won't get turned on for the duration because we'll just be watching the iPad. Coffee maker here, which will not be used because neither of us drink coffee. It's either squash or Diet Coke. I've set up a little charging station. I've got all of our gadgets here, which I'm going to open most of except for yours when you go in the shower. And then these cool dudes, I didn't know what these were from the like photos and stuff. They're bins, they're trash cans. One is
For waste.
and
one is for plastic.
Yeah, it's just so there's like, you can just see in there. Such a neat little concept, that. Absolutely love it. And then we have a chaise-longue down here, sort of, just covered in stuff. The light you turn on by the door, darling, and it comes on, and it's just awesome. Like, it lights it up just beautifully. Absolutely love it. We've got a little poofy that's got this tray on where you can play a game. Not entirely sure what the game is, but I'll probably give it a go. Just for a larf.
Don't forget Rainbow.
Yeah, got enough nights to do so. But it's cool that that comes there. On your side of the bed, we've got my favourite feature, which is the cat lamp.
Cat lamp.
Because it is cat.
Cat lamp is not plugged in even. Cat lamp is new.
And then we have Efteling, like almost, it's kind of like a wax seal style thing at the back. And then two lights that come on. So this is a king bed, I think? Question mark. And then we've got these little tray tables here, which are really helpful for me because I'm great at knocking things off. And these can be moved to your heart's content. And if you move it down here, you've got a little dormouse behind the bed, which is really cute. And we got another mirror up here with wings on either side. And then we're into the bathroom, which is also very pretty. We've got a compass on the floor because the theme of this hotel is that we are flying and we are helping to pilot the hotel. And then toilet, we've got a little backwards saying on here that when reversed, again becomes forward, which I think is really cool. So I'm gonna have to put in a translation of what that means now. The mirror also has a light, which I can now turn off. And then we've got a shower, which Ian is about to test, so we'll be able to review that. Got built-in toiletries, does come with a bath mat, and we've got 2 towels and 2 hand towels up there. We got this glorious thing. If I did have checked baggage, I would be taking some of this back. It smells divine. And that pretty much is it. We've not got the greatest view, it's just of...
We're kind of in the back.
We're kind of in the back area,
So,
yeah. So
you can make out.
Yeah, so you can see, so that spike there is the top of the Efteling building. Above there is where the spinner thing was going earlier. You can kind of see like little turrets here, there and everywhere.
Well, that's the top of the Grand Hotel, isn't it? Those two golden...
It's a view, it gives us a nice view of the outside. We're getting a nice pretty sunset over there actually.
I was going to say, we're getting the sun coming through this side, which is quite nice.
Yeah. So all in all, not bad for how much I paid. Mm-hmm. Which again, I'll put at the bottom of the screen. That's including breakfast, all the week. So that's an all-you-can-eat breakfast down in the restaurant we've just been in. Saga will give a very quick rundown. Not overly impressed by the dinner menu. It's a little bit too artsy-fartsy for us. It's just not us. It might suit somebody else, but it's just not us. So, oh, I can see we've got an adjoining door as well. That will be staying locked. Yes, it will. I think you're going to go and have a shower.
Indeed.
And I might open some gachas. Gachas should not be this hard to open. I've managed to get in them. I had to use nail clippers to get in them. That's how bad this is. Okay, we've all got to suspend disbelief and pretend that this is a perfectly normal and put together shell. It definitely is. Anyway, so we take the top layer off and we get a little bed piece, and it's the little monkey from Kirby. And then I believe, if I recall correctly, all of this fits together to create a little dresser. I've got to get all these pieces back in there. Wish me luck with that. Then I got one of these. They're meant to be jewellery holders, apparently. But it's a little Kirby. And he goes on his little stand, and then he can hold your jewellery for you. This one is my absolute ecstatic, because it's the little character out of Cardcaptors I adore and can't remember the name of. But he's the little annoying assistant that drove Sakura mad, which was just funny. So, I love him. He is my favourite. I got another one from the Kirby range, but when I say these drove me mad to open, I'm not kidding. So, I will put a picture in of when I have opened this. And then finally, we have a little Mofu-san hair clip. Why must you tape this together? Stop. And it's Mofu-san the crab. Yeah, I've discovered these watching somebody else's vlogs, and it's just a cat that dresses up as animals and food and things, and it's just adorable. So I thought, just get this. It's just cute. So that'll do. That'll do as a shot. That's the shot. It's fine.
It pretty much does sum up the antithesis that has been the past 36 hours of our lives.
Yeah.
We've done a lot.
Mostly travelling.
Mostly travelling. Planes, trains, automobiles, and buses.
Yep. So we are. Well, you're in pajamas. I'm about to get into pajamas.
I'm going to eat a bag of crisps I've had since the airport.
And then we're going to sleep.
To sleep well.
Yeah. So well. We will resume fairly regular operations in the next vlog. Hopefully. Provided nothing else goes wrong. We shall see.
But I think outside of like the cables and the lift snapping and this final destination and it down to the...
Yeah, please don't say that.
Okay, so I won't say that, but like... Alright, I slip in the bath mat and plonk myself out of the toilet. No,
not allowed. Not allowed.
So, yes, we'll be fine. We'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Off you do. Off you do. Okay. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.